Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Holistic Conversations. I'm really looking forward to our conversation today with our guest, Radavie Riom. We will learn more from her about her. The thing that I liked about her, which caught my attention, was like when I read that inner peace cannot be found, only unveiled. So that is a great message for all of us. And all of our life, we have this task or engagement, I would like to say. So when we say that we have a task, we completely take that as a chore, and it robs us from our curiosity and excitement. So I would like to say that this is a very, very engaging thing that we do all our life, to work on ourselves, to know ourselves better, by failing, by trying, by exploring. And there are so many other things that we will talk about today with our guest. I would also like to say that this is a topic that is very relatable to all of us who are adults now, who have crossed the stage of their childhood physically, but the inner child is always inside us. And we will try to see how the inner child is looking for a light, a path to just how would I say, grow out of those conditioning and wounds, and heal the adults that we are today. So if by any discussion you are triggered, or you are having some kind of thought crossing your mind which is very unsettling or anxious, I would like you to just take a couple of breaths if you can, by placing your hand in your heart and just being with yourself. Or you can just leave this conversation. You are free to do that and do whatever feels right for you. But we will be talking about this, and I'm really looking forward. I'm also nervous because it's very sensitive. So with the blessing of Almighty, the super soul, we will be getting into this conversation. I have a flower from my garden. It's gardenia. And I'll be sitting with this energy, the flower energy today, to help me pull through this conversation. And having said that, I would like to introduce our guest, Radavie Riom. Namaste, Radavie.
Well,
Welcome to Holistic Conversations.
thank you so much, Mamina. That was a very beautiful and vulnerable expression. But the first thing through your conversation, I wanted to remind everyone that child within you is not broken. That child is veiled. That child, this is the world that I look at the world this way through my own experiences. The child is the essence of our soul. That is, but did I know that? Of course I didn't know that. I have come to realize now that I'm here at the stage and age of my life that my soul gave me the three experiences I need to have to take me through into learning and growing and experiencing. I had those three things by 5 years old. And I just realized that. Okay, so the first one that I remembered that I needed to go through to heal was at 2 years old. I was really wounded by my mother, and it was, in a sense, I want to think these children, you're 2 years old and you're beaten and locked away into a room because someone lied about you. It shatters your innocence. So that was the first thing that I need to work through. And these things that come to us, by the way, I feel it's given here. We feel it because we need to work through whatever it is. The second one, when I was 4 years old, I went to Sunday school and I heard about God. 4 years old, and it awakened my soul. It was so deep that I wanted to know where God is, because they said God is in heaven. I wanted to know where heaven is. And over the years of going through my own healing, I realized that there's a golden thread that goes through the tapestry of my life, and that is God. And I will not use any other word because I know that some people think about God as something, and that's my word because that's what I learned. And then the next one was a very haunting thought. I was an introvert, and I still am. And at 5 years old, I remember sitting against a wall. This is so clear. And I wanted to know, why was I born? Why am I here? Why am I here? And now I can sort of go back and see how that silence, because there was no one to ask, why am I here? Why was I born? Why was I born? But that echoed into the mystery. I can feel it now. It echoed into the mystery of consciousness, waiting for me to discover that. And I could only, and we can only discover that by a light bulb that goes on, where the main time, the most important thing is to go through our personal experiences, because that gains wisdom, and nobody can tell you that it's wrong. So my three things took me on a journey. And I realized today, I smile and I said, my soul knew I needed to have these experiences because of what I'm here to do. Not me, Radavie, what my soul is here to express through this physical body, like everyone else. So, what I realized from the 2-year-old experience, it was very painful, is that the essence, remember, said we're not broken. Our child is an essence of innocence. When we came into this world, we had no language. There's an innocence. What happened during the wounding? It created another platform that created the conditioning. We started to live from the inner pain and the wounds, and we're living on a foundation of conditioning. We began to feel that we need to do the right things. We need to follow society. We need to follow what our parents want. I want you to be this, and that. And if you can't, because your soul is here to be an artist, and I want you to be in college, doing to be an attorney or a doctor. Excuse me. There is such a discord. We, we are forced to do something that is not what we came to do. And, I have to look at that and say that our parents want the best for us. Whether they're showing kindness or love or wounding, they really want the best for us. So, in their mind, sometimes what it is they did not accomplish, they want their children to accomplish. And we are forced into doing things to please our parents, not to get to that place of inner peace. No. Inner peace doesn't come when you're not satisfied with what you have to do. So that, to me, is what our life is all about. We've come here to learn, grow, and evolve. My learning was about wounding and about God. And then the evolution for that was to go through the mystery of the experiences of life. And when I was going through my healing, it took me a few years because it was very deep. I got to know because, I get information from inside of me, not through a book. I'm not much of a reader, but I'm an experiencer. And I got to realize I'm here to break the code of human conditioning. And I'm saying to everyone, I'm here to help you to break the conditioning code. And it has to start by unveiling the pain and the shame and the fear that you have inside. So that to me is a very, very important. Why is it? I got to see how my sadness and unhappiness, I can say I'm an inner peace guide. And if I wasn't living that inside, I couldn't say that. I'd be lying. And maybe some people lie, but I'm not here to do that. I'm here to stand from the divinity within me.
That's so amazing and vulnerable. I'm now trying to understand the word vulnerability. It's so much related to the spirit. It's that inner voice, the inner child that's speaking with that voice. To me, that is the best definition of vulnerability. And when we feel the shame, the discomfort, so to say, from the society, that is so much imposed on us and robs us of our vulnerability because we are conditioned. We are conditioned and we are conditioned always, always, be it my parents, be it my child, be it my family, friends, any acquaintance, at work, wherever it is. But I feel is in reality, there is parallel, right? We have this, from my body's experience, there is spirit and there's body, right? We don't see our spirit, we just see our body. So just like that, there's my authenticity, and then there's this parallel of the society. Which are so much running in the same, like two tires of the bicycle, I would say like that. They are always present. They are always present. But in a bicycle, there's a good distance between them. They don't overlap. They don't create chaos for, the bicycle to not work or function. They are in their proper balance so that the bicycle can run. So for us also, conditioning is there, but we need to choose our conditioning according to our spirit guide. Like we have our own conditioning, like my likes, my dislikes, stuff like that. I would like to listen to that kind of perspective. Like, how do we pull ourselves through this reality, this concrete reality? It's always present. It's always present.
Yeah, and and that is why I want to go back to the foundation that was created by the conditioning and our emotions of how we felt when we're hurt. And believe me, little children are hurt by the simplest thing, because what we do as children, we only know a heart space, love. And the slightest thing that happens, we're very sensitive. And I know a lot of people will say, yes, I know. We're very intuitive. And when our parents say something to us that is unkind, something inside freezes up and we feel we're not loved. The attachment and connection is not there in that moment. And I remember that I had a client, and it's a male client. And when he came, you know, when he's on the table, because it was physical, they're in this space, in my space where the divine is present, so that they're open. And he told me that when he was a little boy or young, maybe a little baby, Monso, his mother was loving to him and very kind. And one day he looked at her, and although she was being kind, he saw that there was a different feeling in her. There was an unhappiness in her. And the dualistic behavior froze. He couldn't, he couldn't trust the niceness and the upsetness. And so this is what happens in the world. There's a dualistic, and we find that people are mean or on, and we are looking and we understand that is so so mean. So duality really gives us something to learn once we start to unveil. We realize that right and wrong, duality is in a way is a blessing, because we're feeling the difference between what we really are and what is happening out in the world, what is going on in me. And it gives us a choice. So duality in a session, but you have to get to that point where you begin to unveil the pains, the wounds, forgiveness, the doubts about yourself. Because trust me, when a child is being taught or telling them that you'll never do well in school, or you get a grade that the parents are not happy with and they get upset, what do you think you feel? You feel I'm not good enough. And we may forget that we feel we're not good enough, but it's sitting there in your unconscious. I wouldn't say the subconscious. That's much easier to find. But the unconscious is the last one where your shame is hidden away. And once we begin to clear those veils, you're learning to say, that doesn't feel right. And so it gives me a chance to move in another direction. So it's not a good thing when you don't understand, but it is a classroom thing for you to go in the directions that your heart feels. So that's the way I say that.
Yeah, that's really beautiful. Like as you said, it's not a good thing, but we need to arrive somewhere there, closer, so that we can just explore ourselves. And that parallel is a help with offering so many choices. And we can choose according to our own conditioning.
True. You remember I talked about that platform?
Yeah.
That's not the real, that's a conditioning platform. That's where the programs are set up for us to follow, but never in the direction of our heart. It's
Mm-hmm.
always in the direction of beliefs and doubts. And that's why I feel very passionate about the book, because I guess they're waiting for me to get to that point where the messages came. And so I look at myself more like a messenger. I'm really a messenger to remind you of your divinity. And it's only in the book. I don't know, you can see that.
Can see that. I can see that. Yes.
Okay.
I can see
It's,
that.
yes, it's only because of the messages that I ever think I could write a book. And my husband was very helpful to me. So I wanted to just and open and just share whatever message. And they're usually short. And these messages, I never repeat them because they're multidimensional. I because there's a frequency in them, and I'm not going to say because this is what they said. So I opened this, and it said, and I want you to just be in your heart and take a deep breath. At birth, we were like a tiny seed that holds the wondrous truth of life. At birth, we were like a tiny seed that holds the wondrous truth of life. That's what we are. That's the innocence. That's our foundation. The innocence of the divine, our soul's essence. And this is coming from our soul's essence. So that's why I said we're not broken. We're only here to remember. And so back to my childhood 5-year old, I said, why am I here? Why was I born? This is just flowing through me. So I was born to remember what we really are. And so is everyone. We're here to remember because we're thrown into a classroom and they all don't always go well. The classroom is a painful place to learn. And and so the book is not about me, it's about all of us, because of the messages and to remember all the pain and wounds, because I put a lot of my life stories in here and some clients. But you're not the only one that has felt pain. That's part of the healing of coming to this earth to get to that classroom of learning and growing. And I strongly feel that those who have come to the understanding and remembering ought to be of service to others. We're divine sparks. That's what they told me. We're all sparks from the one flame of God. And just consider, I'm just part of you. We're all part of each other. And a lot of people have forgotten that. It doesn't matter what color you are, or whether you are homeless, because I look at them as my brothers too, or you're what. There's a soul inside there that will never change. The essence of your being is your soul.
Yeah.
So that's really is very meaningful to me. We're moving through some very, some we're moving through some, oh, I don't want to say difficult, but it seems difficult. Unusual times. That's the best thing to say. We're moving through some unusual times. And what is that? There's more light coming in the planet. I don't know. And that's what's stirring up. So all this light coming in and it's stirring the pot and all the things, the wounding and the chaos that we have hidden inside because we're just trying to be the best we can. It's being stirred up and we can't hold on to it any longer. And that is what it's creating, to me, a lot of chaos on the planet. The chaos that's happening on the planet is not caused by what someone out there is doing. It's caused by how we look at it. The chaos is coming through us because now I can look. It's like looking through a window and I'm safe over here. And there's a lot going on outside and people are reacting. And that's what the chaos is. So my book, A Way to Inner Peace in the Midst of Chaos, is, I can say, it's a chaos within me. Awaken to that chaos in me because we're divine sparks.
It's easier to say because sometimes when you have reached there and you have realized that, well, this has a meaning and this is giving me this direction, there is light. And when you have done all your work, and you are at a space where you are like, okay, I feel better now. I feel better. I see everything. I hear everything. But still, I'm able to take care of myself in each and every situation, So that realization, I just want to say that it doesn't happen, it doesn't come to everyone at the same point of time. It's not like when you are we are collective, but we have our own pace, we have our own experiences, we have our own sufferings, we have our own wounds that we take time to touch base with, to talk to them, to see them in this busy world, which creates a war inside us, and then we are all reacting to it.
Yes,
So
of course. And that's very beautifully said too, because not everybody reached that It's an ongoing flow. It keeps moving. We don't arrive at, okay, this is it, we got it. There's always, can use a ladder. We are further up on the ladder and we can look down. And the important thing is to look down with love and compassion, or compassionate look. Because if we don't have a genuine compassion, we're really not loving. We're only feeling sympathy. And it's not about being sympathetic, it's about being compassionate.
I have a question for you. Uh, when you said like you were 2 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, and you already were connected to your inner child because you were feeling the pain, you were able to see your suffering, and you had questions inside of you. So how you cultivated compassion for yourself, how you were able to redirect yourself to love yourself, how did that sprouted, that kindness or compassion or love for yourself, how did it start?
Good question. What happened with me, I withdrew. I withdrew. A lot of, children, God, do different things. We try to be nice, we try to please, we try to, because we're looking for love. But what I did, I withdrew and I lived from a place of sadness. And it took me years to realize that the unconscious first step, what lie in there, my deepest unconscious pain was that I would never be loved. So consider a child, 2 years old. That was a program that I set up. And because of my love for God and my intuition, I there was a determination in here to go further. I want to know God. There was a godliness thing that took me on. And that's why that was so important, because through that, and I was very emotional, I could feel my pain. And for years, I would release and release and release. I wasn't called to go to a therapist. I needed to experience it myself, unknown to me, because I think it had a very deep classroom learning, because I didn't know this is what I needed to do to help others. So I had to do it by myself. And the more that I did that, Mamina, the more I began to see and understand more about this dualistic way, this harshness, and I don't want to go there. I'm sure there were times when I was angry. I was living that because the pain was so deep. But the more that we open to feel what is inside of us, it's so important. More important, it is as important as going to college to learn something, because sometimes it's going to college to learn is what your soul is here to do, to serve people. But it has to come from a heart. You have to include your heart. It's mind and heart. And the heart is more the feminine way. Why do I say that? I'm not going to make it any better than, but the heart is a feminine, which women have a tendency to feel more of a heart space conditioning, the connection. And when the heart is opened, it's it's the goddess. The mind is a master who listens. expresses. And we'll notice that the judgments we used to have when we're all cloaked over on the platform, and the judgment and the bitterness we talk about people, that language goes away because the heart is now more open and the mind is listening. We need that voice to express. There are times when it does not express loving thoughts. And you'll find that your thoughts and expression starts to change. And that always happened to me. It's yes, you don't have to go. Yeah, you can't go to a classroom to learn. You have to experience that.
Yeah, that's so true, and that's the reality. I also feel like when you are in a situation where you are aware of your inner being speaking, and you constantly listening to the voice. For me, what is coming up is in the outer world, right? Uh, then there are disconnection. There are how would I say? You don't feel like connecting to the same people anymore.
That's right.
You don't feel like connecting to the same people anymore. So your conditioning changes, your environment changes, your relationships changes, and it's a entire new path where you are no more inclined to those persons or those relationships. You are very much looking forward to the unknown, and you feel that is building you up.
Yes. And the foundation of conditioning starts to slowly crumble. It starts to slowly crumbling. And for me, now I can just say that that child in me now, I giggle because I was sad. I didn't play much as a child. But now I giggle at the simple things. I just see something outside and I will giggle. It's not a mind thing, it's a feeling thing now. And I just, that little child now has found the freedom to express herself. Yeah. And so that inner child, that child within you, is only waiting for you to connect and to love it and not keep thinking that it's it's causing you pain. What is causing you pain is the emotions of the imprints that are in there causing pain. That child wants to be free, wants the freedom. And so there are times when, I hear people blaming, oh, it's because of the child. And I've got to the place where that is hurtful to me because I know that child, it just wants to be acknowledged and loved. It's gone through, and in my book, it talks about that too. So, and there comes a time when we can look at our lives and say, oh my gosh, I learned so much from this. Oh my gosh, if this didn't happen, I couldn't be doing this. And that's so anyone who is stuck into I never get there or I'm not good enough, don't do that. Don't do that. The essence of your soul is in that little child waiting to come alive.
Yeah, and it's so amazing that when I'm in this conversation, when I'm talking, um, I don't have this society, shame, guilt. They are like in my outer circle now. They don't bother me at all. And I feel so good about it. I can't think of what people are thinking of me. I don't want to correct them. I don't want to think of their thoughts. Their thought is theirs, you know. So I better focus on my myself. And
I know, you know why? Because we're into that frequency. We're in that energy that holds us in that space. Yes.
yeah, yeah, and I think that leads to pleasing more so.
Pleasing?
Pleasing.
Uh, I don't know if it's about pleasing. I know it's about experiencing. Because
Yeah,
when we are in that frame of energy, we are experiencing just like what you said, Mamina. You're not connecting to anybody out there that is not bringing you that heart space. You're living that, which right now you're in that moment, and we're both in that moment of sharing from our hearts. I think
yeah,
this is, and that's why, as you said, some of your friends they just moved away. Not that you had a bad experience with them. Your frequency has changed.
Y-
Yes, it just changed, and you don't feel that connection anymore.
yeah, that's right. And to make this entire experience okay, you know, it was not a conscious effort that I am working on to be okay with, but just by doing what I am called to in each and every moment, and by being present with what I am doing, um, I don't have any grief, I don't have any regrets, I don't have any uh, pain now. But before, when there was this transition, I used to feel like I'm feeling bad. Why this is happening? Why they are not talking? Oh my
Oh,
God!
I
Oh, why?
remember.
What did I do? What did I do? This question. What did I do? How can I correct it? You know, now that is like really far from me. Like I see it crosses my mind, but then definitely it's not a sad experience for me. It is just like, it's okay.
Your thoughts have changed. And that's why, Mamina, you're having holistic conversations. That's a very beautiful, you would never go do that if you weren't in that mindset. Just like I said, I'm an inner peace guide. How come I'm inner peace guide if I can't help people to find peace? That's a very beautiful title, Holistic Conversation.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much. When I started this, uh, I'm sorry, I'm sharing a little bit of my experience here.
Oh, please, I'd love for you to do
uh, I want to really put it into numbers. Like I was 80% maybe present with what I was doing. And I don't want to also say I was doing, but I was called to. And it was like a lot of anxiety, lot of confusion, lot of distrust, lot of questioning, not trusting, still moving on. As you said, that golden thread, the godly
You're the
thing that is,
tapestry.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I really could relate to that experience. And I have had people having different opinions, like so many things that I have heard, but this space where I am now, I'm doing this now, um, it has been working, it has been working. And I don't say that, wow, I did it, it's not like that. It is not like a thing that, I proved everyone wrong and I did it. It's not that energy. It is from somewhere, some guidance that it is happening. A month ago, I wouldn't have imagined coming across you coming across you.
Wow, Mamina.
Yeah, I mean, I had no plans for doing this episode in May. I thought I started my college, so I'm doing my studies. So I thought, okay, that's fine. If it happens, happens. I'm not putting more energy there. I want to just focus in my studies and my work and everything. If it happens, it happens. But suddenly somebody introduced us, I would like to express my gratitude for that person, and I'm really grateful that it finally is happening today. So this is not a human thing for me. I just can't take it all on me that wow, I did it. No, I don't think so. It just happened. It just happened. It's unfolding.
That's beautiful, Mamina. And the thing is, there's a flow. There's a flow within your energy that moving you forward. Like I said, learn, grow, and evolve. There's an evolution that really was taking you into guiding you along. And and that's where sometimes an angel, a person will come and say, I want to connect you both, like something like that. It's okay. What's coming to me is that I want people to really understand that when your heart is open and you put something out in the universe, you're sending a letter. Well, just consider it like you're sending an energy and it's alive. That energy is alive and you're sending it out to the divine, to God, prayer. And it's coming from your heart. Trust me, it's delivered. Have you ever heard of some people who are into such a bad shape and they just get down in their heart and they say, God, help me? And something happens? Good. We don't have to reach out all the time. We just have to feel it and keep moving and keep moving because it's a mystery. But somebody comes because you're in that field. You're in a field that is sensed. It's sensed. And somebody comes to you and say, by the way, da 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 da, No, it's really a mystery. So please must be careful of the thoughts we have. That just trust. To me, one of the biggest things that I do is trust.
I think I will also agree to that. So this trust thing is really becomes really concrete when things go wrong and I'm beating myself up, and I'm definitely going through this negative energy, negative thoughts, but this breath of trust, when I have 100 of negative thoughts and I'm still able to breathe and come out of it, it takes a little time, unless I am like aware, okay, this is taking over me, this is too heavy, I can't deal with it. And then when I take that breath and then I feel like okay, uh, I just have to keep breathing, to just detach from that thought. And I feel that with that awareness, I think my guide is hooking onto me. My guide is hooking onto me, and I got help. I got help. I got help.
That's beautiful because our guides are always here that to support us in the right directions. And trust to me is not trusting a human being, it's way beyond that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Trust to me is knowing that we in this physical form are being supported. And it's not just our physical form, it's about the essence of our being is being supported. And that's why self care is so important.
Self
Self
care, self care. Yes, yes. I think
that
that breath at that moment was like biggest example of self care. Biggest example. I mean, not in the first breath, because it gets choked. You can't breathe full. When it slowly goes deeper, 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 then you feel the connection, and
that's
uh,
right.
that
That's right. That's
that
right.
I
Right.
completely feel that. And when I am able to breathe deep, I feel like I got help. Okay, I got help. I'm taken care of. I'm taken care of.
Beautiful.
It's
That's beautiful.
beyond human. It's beyond human capacity. Definitely.
Beautiful, Mamina. Beautiful. And I bless your podcast. I really do.
Thank you.
Because you're the right person to have a holistic conversation.
Thank you so much for your blessings. It was really nice talking to you. I mean, nice is a fancy word, but it was more like heart to heart connection. And we
Mhm.
talked about a thing that we cannot stay without, the inner child.
That's
And
right.
so
That's
we
right.
all have it, and we all have difficulties and sufferings in our life. It's not like uh, we uh, we will have life without suffering. No, but we have to live through that. We have to live through that. And I would like to ask you for a message that you can leave us with.
Oh, certainly. And what comes to me from the last thing you said is that the child within you is calling for love. And you'll never get it from the person who has hurt you. You'll get it from the love of your heart because it's you reaching out to you to connect. So unveil your child within. You will find so much more happiness in your life by unveiling that child. Don't knock it anymore to say it's because of you. That child needs your affection more than anything else. So be love to that little one inside.
Yeah. So this podcast today was a reminder, like Radavie says, like I'm
To
here
the,
to awaken, to remind you as a messenger. So we were present here today for an hour or so to remind every one of you that every one of you has a divine presence inside you. And that divine presence, you can relate to a soul as your inner child. You can relate to it in any way you can relate, as long as you are relating to itself. And yeah, look after that inner child and listen, connect, and be happy.
I offer people a 20-minute complimentary guidance if they ever want to talk, don't ever want to hear more, or they want to understand more, or say that doesn't make sense, something I said. I'd be happy to. And
Yes.
get the book. The book isn't my book. The book is our book based on the messages that they gave me.
I forgot to ask you about the mystery behind your name, but I'll keep that for our next episode so that we meet again.
Okay.
This is something unique. I haven't heard of this name before. So we will keep this question for next episode so that we can unveil how this name came to you and what's the meaning.
Right. I will just give you a little clue, and that's it.
For sure.
It's not my birth name, so that's where the mystery is.
Oh, wow. Okay. On this note, we will definitely like to meet you again and invite you to our podcast so we can unveil so many other things with you.
Thank you so much, Mamina. And you
Thank you
are
for, thank you.
such a beautiful soul.
Thank you. You too are. You too are. Thank you. Thank you for leaving us with the smile today. And you have a good day today. And you all have a good Saturday and enjoy,
Yes,
have
yes.
fun.
Remember, we're all sparks. We're all sparks of the divine. Yeah, yeah. I just
Okay. Yeah.
want to leave that. Thank you so much, Mamina.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
How do we how do we end this? You're going to end?
Yes.
Okay.